Hey, Chiefs Kingdom. Before we get into today's show, I want to do a mailbag soon, so you know what the drill is. Use hashtag Chiefs and ask your questions down in the comment section. Maybe it's your first time stumbling onto this channel. If it is, mailbag soon, so get your questions in right now. I'll choose from the best ones, and we'll do a mailbag here on the channel very, very soon. You're watching the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Harrison Graham, for today's show. Let's focus on Tyrann Mathieu and the latest surrounding a potential contract extension because news and notes continue to fall out of from NFL insiders on this one. Jeremy Fowler reports that the Chiefs have made it clear to Tyrann Mathieu directly that they want to extend him. So, hey, what have we been saying all along? Expect an extension to come through the pipeline at some point in time. Now, it is the last year of his contract, which is why this has been a storyline for a while. Get a contract done, lower his cap hit for this year, but more importantly, keep him in Kansas City for the foreseeable future because Tyrann Mathieu is a core defensive player, not just in terms of production, but also in terms of a leader, a culture guy, and all of that intangible stuff that coaches talk about. Obviously, he's been great with Kansas City in his 2 years. He's fit in under Steve Spagnuolo tremendously. 10 interceptions in 2 seasons. He's been awesome to watch, and he's the true leader of this defense. Obviously, you've got Chris Jones, you've got Frank Clark, you've got Anthony Hitchens, you've got guys who can play at a high level, but Tyrann Mathieu is arguably your best player, and he's definitely your leader, your conductor, if you will, of that side of the football. So getting a contract done and keeping him in Kansas City makes a whole lot of sense. Will Kansas City extend Tyrann Mathieu before week 1? Get your votes in. Type Y for yes, type N for no. I've said all along that I believe they will. Wouldn't shock me at all if it got done before training camp. So let us know in the comments what you guys think. And hey, let's just get this done already. Mathieu wants to be a Chief. The Chiefs want to keep Mathieu. Let's just make him a top 3 or 4 highest paid safety in the NFL, make everyone happy, and go play some football and chase another Super Bowl for the next few years. Obviously, Justin Simmons is your highest paid safety right now. Budda Baker, who Mathieu is surely better than. Eddie Jackson, who struggled a little bit last year. Mathieu certainly deserves to be paid higher than him. I would give him in that $14.5 to $15.5 million range. I don't know if he'll end up being the highest paid safety in the NFL. He certainly has a good argument for it. Simmons is certainly a great player, but I would argue Mathieu brings more to the Chiefs' defense in terms of his versatility than Justin Simmons does. And obviously, if something weird happens and he's not a part of this defense, things change dramatically on how you feel about the secondary. I like Juan Thornhill, but I think he benefits from a guy like Tyrann Mathieu. Your cornerbacks are good but not great. So you take Mathieu out of the mix, and it's like, well, how much does this defense actually drop off? I think it goes from being, a fringe top 10 defense to probably an average to below average defense. I think that's how good of a player Tyrann Mathieu is, especially for this team at this point in time. So let's get a deal done. Brett Veach has had a great offseason. I think the icing on top would be signing Tyrann Mathieu to a long-term extension. Fill in the blank. I would give Tyrann Mathieu blank $1 million per year. Let me know what you guys would say. I'm comfortable giving him 15. How about a 3-year, $45 million extension? Who says no? I think it's a win-win for everyone involved. So let us know how much you would give Tyrann Mathieu per year on a new contract extension. Now, guys, July 1st is here, which means it's a new month and time for a new challenge. We finished second at Chat Sports in news break downloads here on the Chiefs Report. I feel good about that, but the one channel, the one show we lost to was the freaking Raiders Report. Come on, they bodied the competition last month with 79 downloads of the Newsbreak app. Chiefs Report were in second, but a distant second at 37 downloads. We're starting fresh. July is here. I want to win this month, so help us out. You see the link below. It's chatsports.com/ChiefsNB. If you're on your phone, your tablet, mobile device, not on your desktop, it's got to be a mobile phone or tablet there. Search that link on your internet browser, chatsports.com/ChiefsNB. It'll redirect you to the App Store, and then you can take advantage of the app as well. Keep up with news, weather updates, sports stories as well, pop culture, whatever your flavor is. It syncs up with your zip code, and you can keep up with local news stories in your areas and more videos from us here at the Chiefs Report. Help us out. I want to win this competition. Chatsports.com/ChiefsNB. That link will be in the comments. It'll also be in the description. Let's win here in the month of July. Orlando Brown, is he going to get an extension? Let's talk about that here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. So the reason this storyline has kind of resurfaced here, because as you guys know, once Brown got traded to the Chiefs, it was made pretty clear that they would not sign him to a new deal right away, that they're at least going to get into the season, if not let this season play out. And for smart reasons, right? Now Ryan Ramczyk has been paid. So Orlando Brown is trying to have that price tag shoot up, and it's going to continue to shoot up if more offensive tackles get signed over the next few months between now and the end of this upcoming season. Ramczyk got the bag, got over $18 million per year as a right tackle. So what's Orlando Brown going to get, considering he's 3 years younger and now he's playing left tackle with the Chiefs? He's going to get a lot of money, and deservedly so. He's played this smart, assuming that he plays well in his first year in Kansas City. So you kind of look at some of the highest paid tackles here. We'll look at the right tackles first. Between 18 and 20 million are your top two guys there, Ramczyk and Lane Johnson. Obviously a big drop-off after that. But right tackles don't get paid as much as left tackles. Look at what Trent Williams just got. He's 33 years old with the San Francisco 49ers. I don't think he'll get $23 million. Orlando Brown will, but I bet he gets more than Colton Miller. I bet he gets more than his former teammate, Ronnie Stanley, who got 19.75. I think Orlando Brown, if he plays well this season, his first with the Kansas City Chiefs, I think he'll get $20+ million per year. The cap's going to go up next year to kind of, remake up for the money lost during the COVID season. I think he's going to get a lot of money. I could see him getting 5 years, $110 million. That would not surprise me whatsoever, because if he plays like he did last year at left tackle, once Ronnie Stanley got hurt for Baltimore, you're talking about one of the premier left tackles in the NFL, and he'll only be 25. Like, that's going to be a guy that makes a lot of money in this league, not only on this contract, but for a very, very long time. And just to circle back to the Chiefs side of this, you don't trade for Orlando Brown unless you're prepared to give him the bag. So they're going to have to pay up when that time comes, whether it's before this season, during this season, or after this season. Orlando Brown is going to make a lot of money. And now that Ryan Ramczyk has gotten a new deal with the New Orleans Saints, look for Brown to cash in sometime in the near future, and probably for over $20 million per year, and probably between $60 and $80 million in guaranteed money. What do you guys think? Are you worried that Orlando Brown might cost too much money? Type A for yes, type B for no. I'm not worried, because the second the Chiefs made this move, they knew they were going to have to pay somewhere in that range. Maybe it's, a couple $1 million per year higher than they anticipated, but hey, this is business. Cap keeps going up. It's going to be fine at the end of the day. So let us know, are you worried that Orlando Brown might cost too much? Again, A for yes, B for no. My answer, I'm not that worried. I don't think the Chiefs are worried. I don't think you should be worried about this either as well. Orlando Brown's going to get paid, and deservedly so. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Kansas City Chiefs Report here on YouTube, because, hey, if Tyrann Mathieu, Orlando Brown, either of those guys or both sign contract extensions, we're going to cover it here on this show, because that's what we do. We're bringing you guys breaking news, the latest rumors. We do weekly mailbags. Remember, hashtag Chiefs in the comments, mailbag soon. Don't miss any of our coverage. We're doing like 5 videos per week here on this channel. It's youtube.com/ChiefsTV. Make sure you subscribe for free to the Kansas City Chiefs Report. All right, one more story here, kind of a contract focus today. How about signing Golden Tate to a contract in free agency? So ESPN dropped an article of one move that all 32 teams could make before training camp or before week one, and the Chiefs' move was signing Golden Tate in free agency. Field Yates had this one, basically saying that, hey, Kansas City, you got Tyreek Hill, you got Travis Kelce, but you're a little thin at receiver after that. You've got some depth, but do you have a lot of proven depth with guys like Hardman, Robinson, and Pringle? Here's what Field Yates had to say, quote, "The Chiefs are a little thin at wide receiver, though it might not matter how much given their star pass-catching duo of Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. That said, Tate would provide something a little bit different than what Kansas City's receiving group is largely constructed of: ample speed, a compact wideout with who excels in short passing game with the run-after-the-catch skills, and for Tate, the chance to win should be enticing." I like that last point. Golden Tate, at this point in his career, isn't what he was. Winning may be more important than his actual production. But he makes some good points. We've talked about this a lot on this show this offseason. How do you feel after Tyreek Hill? Now, we just heard rave reviews coming out of camp about Mecole Hardman, but I got to see it on Sundays before I think he's ready to be a true number 2. D-Rob, Pringle, those are nice depth receivers. Can they be number 2s? I don't really know. Cornell Powell, I think he's got some upside, but he's just a 5th-round rookie out of Clemson. I think you're hoping he evolves to being like a number 3 receiver. I will say this about Golden Tate. It's been a couple years since he's been that good. He's been banged up. He might be cooked. I don't know if he is. If he's healthy, maybe he can still play at a decent level, but I kind of have reservations saying, is Golden Tate still worth anything? I don't know. It kind of goes back to the old cliche rule of, hey, bring him to camp on a 1-year non-guaranteed or little guaranteed deal. See what he does. Let him compete. Is he willing to do that at 32 years old? Does he have too much pride to try and compete for a roster spot? We will see, but he's a free agent for a reason because he's not the player that he once was, back in his peak Lions days or his peak, even Seahawks days way back early on in his career. Now, out of the free agent receivers out there, there's not a lot of big names left. Josh Gordon, who knows what's going on with him. Des Bryant, he was okay when Baltimore signed him last year. Outside of an occasional red zone target, he doesn't give you much. D.D. Westbrook, who we've talked about some, he's intriguing. He had a major injury a year ago. Danny Amendola, he's kind of flirted with retirement. We'll see about him. And then Tavon Austin, who, he doesn't really give you much more than you already have, is more of a speed gadget guy. So not a lot of big-name receivers left on the market. So we'll ask you this before signing off. Should the Chiefs sign Golden Tate, type S for sign, type P for pass on him? I'd probably pass, but again, if it's cheap or non-guaranteed deal, bring him into camp, see what he can do. But other than that, I'm not expecting much from Golden Tate these days.